Welcome back to Universal Journey Talk, Episode 1, Part 4. I mean, I don't know too much about like Gandhi, but the only thing that really resonated with me that I found to be amazing about his story was that instead of going with the flow, where I guess when their countries were warring or something, whatever and stuff, he decided to stop eating and essentially stop the war because the country didn't want him to die. So they stopped warring. If I got this correct, I think this is correct. And,
Yeah,
and because of that, so in other words, he chose peace to the point where he was willing to die. You know, whatever and stuff for peace, and then whatever it changed. So they kind of had to think of a different way, and he actually brought peace in a
so think
scenario.
about
You know what I mean?
it's almost as if it's a form. We're not going to get into too much now, but a form of alchemy, you know. And that I think that's something that should be another topic we should jump on, because it all has to do with alchemy. You know what I mean? In
Okay.
a way, we're all. If you're a human being, you're an alchemist. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
All
You
right.
just have to understand the sense. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Right.
Like it's
And
all the elements they deal with us. You know what I mean? And energies and the planes and it's all we're all connected. Like you said, we have a magnetic field, and that's directly connected to the earth. That's the field. That's you know what I mean. That gives us that magnetic energy. You know what I mean? That
I
charge.
was even gonna say that kind of makes me think like like sometimes I think you and I were gonna say certain things that probably mean the same thing, but we're saying different terms or something, which kind of almost makes me think of like once again, well not what's what am I saying when you're trying to wow, I just lost my thought. um making
Like
your
your
own,
ground.
well, making your own reality,
Oh,
manifestation, that's the word, manifestation. Because it's like once you, and I've kind of done this in several different ways, we'll have to talk about that later and stuff, where it's like I've created my own world based off of my energies and what I put out there, and how it kind of makes it to where I'm able to have this kind of way of life. I'm able to do things that people wouldn't accept of other people, they'll accept it of me. And
right.
it's all because of that, like the manifestation and how you kind of tend to use it. And that's a whole bunch of other stuff. But
Well, right,
definitely,
yeah, but it's good that we're tying into that because you're getting into frequency, and that's like crystals and how we know that everything carries a different frequency, and
yeah,
it's all tapped
right,
from
right,
consciousness to the mind to the brain. You know, what I mean, and it's all it's all a system, and it's all systematic in a sense. You know what I mean?
right.
Or at least it's the way we can rational to a degree with everything, and that's why. So if it was Gandhi, you know what I mean, fasting and whatever his ritual was, and then look, maybe peace came in a sense, and maybe how much of it really had to do with him. Maybe it's eminent. You know what I mean? And if there's something we believe and have faith in, then there's something, and it resonates with you. I would look more into that and be like, hey, maybe I can be similar or alike. Like anything that's positive. I don't see why we wouldn't want to be somewhat like it. You
Right,
know what I mean?
right.
And or be our own version of it in a sense.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's I guess in closing, what I was kind of getting at, which is it's kind of like there's so many little tidbits in life, just in general. It could be something that your neighbor did that you're like, that's a good point. You know what? I'm gonna remember that, or something you read in a book, or something someone said on TV, or whatever. Whatever. There's so many different little things where it's almost kind of like I think that's kind of like what we are. It's like we're just sponges, but what type of information? What are you gonna allow to? What are you gonna filter out, and what are you gonna put in? And but you have to be willing to kind of listen. And I think that that's always been an
yeah,
issue for me when I was younger. I didn't want to listen. I thought, unless it was told to me by my religious leaders or blah blah blah, then I don't want to hear it from anyone else. Now it's like just in conversation, people may say some stuff that I'm like, dude, I don't agree with that at all. But I'll tell you what. Then it's like 10 years later, I'm like, they kind of had a point. You know what I mean? So maybe it took time
Okay, well,
you know,
look, there's some things as a kid, there's some things you don't want to listen to. So it all depends.
maybe,
Like, I mean, sometimes
maybe,
I'm happy with things I didn't listen to, like in school. I'm kind of happy now, in another sense. You know what I mean? Because I would have spent a lot of time on things that maybe still I would have not would hold me back in understanding things on more of a conscious level. You know what I mean?
I get you.
Maybe I would have, too much in the rat race. You know what I mean? That in some ways we're already in anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Sometimes you don't want to. So there are things that I'm not saying that everybody quit school, blah blah blah. I'm just saying that there's a lot of things that worked out for my advantage.
right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right,
A
right,
lot of times I didn't know. I didn't listen to a lot of people. You know what I mean?
right.
Because if I did, it might have really let you know. But there's things that yes, there's some things we do need to listen to and really pay attention. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that actually is.
I think
that's
that's
something we're all going through. Like we're all trying to find in many ways, those especially those seeking, we're trying to find ourselves and know, again, thyself. But that's a process. You know what I mean? I mean, there's days I wake up, I'm like, what the hell am I doing? You know what I mean?
I hear you.
And you gotta figure out, like, wait a minute, like, did you forget? Like, what's the plan, man? You know what I mean? And what does that even mean? You know what I mean? There's a lot of things like you're still gonna ask yourself, and what does that really even mean? You know what I mean? So then go figure it out. If you say it a lot, and it seems to always be the topic, but then really figure out what does it really mean to you, and what do you really want? You know what I mean? And what is your mission in life? How did you get here? And maybe some of the things you do, they're not so crazy. But the things that Kurt does, you're pretty crazy, bro. I'm just, that's just crazy.
Crazy muscles. Hey, you know what? I'll tell you what, though. If you want to be honest, right? I think you got to be, and I honestly believe this. I think you have to be a little bit crazy
it can definitely look that way.
if you want to move forward. You know what I'm saying? Because everyone that stays safe and stays in their, oh, no, I don't do this, I don't do whatever stuff, then I'm kind of like, I mean, that's cool, but you're kind of ending up in the framework of life. You're kind of ending up being a sheep. You're someone that's being guided rather than maybe like the goat or the stallion that you can't control, and they have to take their chance, and they do what they do. Maybe they fall off the cliff, but at least they went to new territory. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I think.
Yeah, there you go. There you have it.
Anyway, so I think you know what? I think we're gonna close off on this. Good stuff, man.
So all
right. So that was pretty much it. I guess we're gonna continue. We're gonna get into some I was trying to take notes on some of the stuff that we're gonna talk about, but we're definitely gonna talk about some of the things we were talking about here. So I guess, hey, if you are all watching this, whoever's watching this, like it, give it a subscribe, because then you'll be able to know the second that we update. We're pretty much going to be doing the show now every single week. We're going to be dropping it in small bits and then drop the whole thing toward the end of the week, whatever. So stay tuned and all that stuff. All right, Eric, man, good talking to you once again. We're going to get deeper. You know what I mean? All right. Peace, everybody.
Stay present.
Thanks for watching this segment of the full episode to be posted Saturday at noon. So give this video a like, leave us your comments and questions for us to reply to in future episodes, and stay notified on the latest episodes by hitting the subscribe button.